Hola, 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 mis amores, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo están haciendo? Espero que estén teniendo un muy buen día y un muy buen semana también. Semana fantástico y también que están haciendo muchas cosas divertidas y muchas cosas buenas. Entonces, vamos a hablar un poquito, ¿ok? Let's talk a little bit more. You see, I just came across this little TikTok video. All right. I just came across this little TikTok video and I said, this must be talked about. We have to talk about this. So, before we jump into it, all right, go ahead and make sure to smash that like button for me. Go ahead and make sure to smash that subscribe button for me. Okay, helps the channel out so much. Thank you so much. Love you so much. All right, and go ahead and leave your comments below once we get this discussion going. Okay, what are your thoughts? What do you think about this whole situation? So let's go ahead and take a look and watch the video first. All right.
Could you ever cheat on me?
Absolutely. That's why I don't make dumb decisions like talking to guys one-on-one or hanging out in like compromising situations, because I'm a human being, you're a human being, and I'm sorry, babe, I don't know if this is hard for you to hear, but everybody is absolutely capable of infidelity in the right/wrong circumstances.
Oh, okay.
That's why boundaries are so important. You're never going to see me in a situation, even if people think I might be too strict, I don't care, because I'm not taking that chance.
Amen.
I'm not putting myself in a position to even be close to a position to potentially fall to temptation. I'm going to keep it 100 because anyone is capable of cheating, but I will not be cheating on you.
Excellent. I love that.
I love you.
Don't you cheat.
I know it'll make our marriage very difficult if I did. I don't know for sure whether or not you leave me, but it's like, do I want to gamble that? Why don't you cheat?
I don't want to lose my relationship. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to have my sons think that I risk their stability and their home for like some fun with someone. I've never had a desire to be with someone outside of this relationship, like genuinely. Not the human stuff that you think someone's hot or cute, but like to really be like, I'm going to
Risk it all.
risk it all. No, I've never had that.
So y'all, let me know what your thoughts are after watching these TikToks. Okay. Did you hear the difference between the woman's answer and that male's answer? The male's answer, he basically was like, oh, well, I'm just, just in case you find out, I'd be too scared that you would find out. I would be too scared that you would find out, and it would be me taking a risk on whether you would leave or not. I would just be too scared that you would find out. That's basically what his answer was. And then when she answered the question, she went in depth with it. She was like all up in those emotions. She went all the way in depth. This goes right along with what I tell y'all all the time on my channel. Males are incapable of such in-depth emotions. She's in there processing it from thinking about her kids, from not wanting to hurt her kids to not wanting to hurt his feelings that he doesn't really have like that anyway, right? His feelings wouldn't be hurt. His ego would be hurt. Okay, they don't have feelings like women have feelings. They're a completely different species. I keep trying to explain this to you, but she's over there thinking, from the Lululand, right? Oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings. She's thinking about the kids. She's thinking about, oh yeah, I wouldn't want to like risk, everything that we've built together. And she even went as far as saying, I've never really had an inclination or a want for being outside of you, for being outside of being with you. Pick Misha. These are the ladies that get cheated on 1,000%. 1,000% because they live in the Lululand. Did you see his answer? Did you hear his answer versus her answer? She's over there giving another species everything that she has to offer, giving him everything. Ma'am, do you even have anything left for yourself? I wonder, do you have anything left for yourself? Because you gave him everything. And then look at his face. After she responded and said all of that stuff, it wasn't even like he was like, oh, he was just like, oh, yeah. Literally. I'm trying to show y'all. Like, this is the species that we're talking about. That is what you would end up in. That's what you would end up in if you don't know what you're doing from the get-go. Okay? My answer to that, if I were in a relationship like that, my answer would have been something to the effect of, I don't really like to think about things that aren't really things that we should be concerned about. It would be super vague. Because I know the way males think. Keep him on his feet. My answer would be super vague. And then y'all wonder, why doesn't he understand how I feel? Why doesn't he care the way that I care? How could he possibly do this to me? Because he's not you, ma'am. He's a completely different species. And you don't understand how he thinks. You don't understand how he thinks. He could never even begin to process on the same level that you are processing. It is not possible. And as soon as they get bored, because they will get bored, guess what they doing? They're going to be out there cheating. So giving a male 100% of yourself makes no sense to me. You can't even give them 50% of yourself. If you know what's good for you, you won't even give 50%. It makes no sense to do that. Here you can see exactly the differences between the responses. You can see why it's the woman that ends up suffering the most. Because the male is completely incapable of processing beyond himself. That answer that he gave was all about him. He was worried for himself that he wouldn't get caught by her. That was his answer. That was the extent of his answer. He was like, I don't want to put myself in that position. I don't want to be the one to suffer. He didn't say anything about hurting her feelings. He didn't say anything about tearing up the family. He didn't say anything about the kids. Y'all, if you watched my other video where I pointed the same thing out, and all I needed was a male to make a comment on one of my videos. He made a comment and he said something like, oh, women leave because they don't like the wife. And all I need is that one statement because my background is in psychology. Okay. And I said to him, okay, because you're trying to tell me by your math, that is a good enough reason to abandon your own child. The fact that you don't like your wife is a good enough reason to abandon your own child. That's by your math. That's what you're telling me. And here we can see even more proof, y'all, that that's how they think. They don't even care about their children. They don't care about their kids. He did not mention the children. You cannot tell me, oh, he got caught off guard. You think this male has never thought about cheating before? You think he's never thought about cheating before? Talking about he got caught off guard with that question? There is no way. They don't care. Ladies, if you're gonna keep messing with the male, you need to understand what you're dealing with. You need to fully understand what you're dealing with. Okay. Now, the video with the first lady that said, oh yeah, I would absolutely cheat. I would absolutely cheat. It just depends. I think she was so nice about that. I mean, it's like, yeah, of course I would cheat on you if the situation were right. Who knows what we might be going through in the marriage? It would be done with, and if y'all knew the history of marriage, I'm reading a book right now. It's on the history of marriage. If y'all knew the history of marriage, you would know that historically, no one really even cared about cheating because marriage is a business deal. You don't get married to someone because you love them. Historically, it's never been get married to someone that you love. That's what the poor do. That's what poor people do, actually, right? This whole love, instead of being financially secure, that's what keeps poor people Just this whole marry for love instead of being financially secure, that's what keeps poor people poor. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger, right? It's history. It's just history. We'll go through that book. I'll make more videos. As I make more videos, we'll go through that book. We'll have the discussions and women only. Okay, I'm saying we'll have the discussions. I don't want no males in my channel. I know I keep saying this, but they keep coming, y'all. Okay. Historically speaking, so this whole cheating thing is actually pretty new. Okay, in terms of history. Nonetheless though, she gave a pretty straightforward answer, right? My answer would have been, you never know, so you better make sure not to slack off. I would have said something like that, and I would have hee ha ha. I'd have been like, ha, and I would have just walked off. Because guess what? I know how to speak the male language. So I would have answered that question on his same time, on his same level, so he can understand. Okay, that this is not a game. I would have said something like, no, I would have said the same thing. No one plans to cheat, but you better keep your A game. So neither one of us has a reason to do that. I would have said something just like that. Okay. Now, some people came for her answer. Some people came for her, and the Pygmisha trolls came for her answer, and a lot of people, most people were like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But guess what? The people that primarily came for her answers were the Pygmisha trolls and males. There were so many males that were like, I can't believe she said she would cheat. I can't believe she said she would cheat. Those are y'all need to, if you continue to mess with these males, you need to ask him this question. Because if you need to say this to him, I know that it's a possibility to cheat. You need to see what his reaction would be if you were to say something like this to him, because those males are looking for slaves. They're looking for slaves. Even though males, statistically speaking, are the ones that cheat in the masses far more than women do. And we could even make an argument for that's why they cheat. The lack of self-awareness. If you're walking around here trying to act like, oh, I would never cheat, I would never, the lack of self-awareness. So you don't have no boundaries. You are not actively and proactively making sure that you don't even end up in a situation where you might consider it or be tempted. And then before you know it, you cheat. Lack of self-awareness. So y'all need to stop dealing with these males. Period. They dumb, okay? But if you insist on continuing to deal with one of them, these are some good tips. Okay? You need to say to him, I watched this TikTok today, and I agree with her. She said something like, anybody could cheat. And I agree with that. So, what do you think? That's something simple like that, and see what he says. Because if he says, I can't believe you said that you would cheat, I can't believe you a slave. Okay, ma'am, you're a slave. You're a slave in that dynamic. That's the role he wants you to play. And by the time you get done playing that role, doing everything that you think he wanted you to do, he gonna end up cheating on you, assaulting you, harassing you. You will have no freedom. Don't say I didn't tell you. Okay, y'all. Well, leave it in the comment below. Let me know what you think about these stitches that we just watched. Don't forget to smash that like button for me. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button for me. All right. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.